G'day folks, this is Sim and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft done from down under. Well, sun is rising over the hills and I have been a busy boy. So we have the house up and we have the roof up. I still need to do a little bit more tweaking here and there. I'm not completely happy with how everything has worked out. I'll give you a proper tour a little bit later. Right now there are a few chores that we need to do. We've got a few things to cover in this episode. So first let's just duck down here, see how much we can get done in the daylight. I've got a little bit of bismuth bronze and I'm definitely going to go into that in much greater depth as to how you make the alloys, but not just yet. Right now I need a new pickaxe head and I'm probably going to need a fire starter as well, but we'll worry about that in a minute. I need food. If we have a look at the moment, you can see that my protein at the moment is completely zip. I'm out of meat, and we need to do something about dairy as well so that we can get the maximum benefits out of our food. So what we're going to do first is we're going to duck over here and we are going to basically kill one of our pigs. Before we do that though, I need to chop down a couple of these trees because I'm going to need the wood to finish off a particular task. This shouldn't take us too long. And there goes that axe, which is not surprising, so let's make this beastie up here and finish the job. I'm probably going to need about a stack and a half of wood altogether, and it looks like we lost a bit from some of these other trees as well because they were all connected via the leaves. So let's see what we got there. It looks like quite a lot. Yeah, we've got nearly 3 stacks plus that, and we've got over 3 stacks. Any left behind? Alright, we'll leave the rest of those willows up. Well, maybe not this one. It looks a little sad over here now. Got to give the animals some protection from the wind. Oh, just slipped off target then, so this will take a little longer than it should have. Come on. There we go. Alright, now, hopefully I'm going to have enough space, although there's a good chance that I may not. Let's duck in here. We want to find a nice big male. There's one in there. And there's a female. That's a smaller male. Actually, I don't really need a massive one because one of the things that I want to do is start doing some breeding, and that means picking the larger ones to breed so that we get better quality output. We've got a few babies that have popped up over the course of the year, which is good. Yeah, this fella here doesn't look too big, and I think he'll do just fine. So, sorry mate, I'm not even sure whether criticals work in this, but let's find out. Yep. Ooh, and there we go. And he wasn't too big, so we haven't done too badly. Now I'm going to have to get that meat salted and cooked, but we're not going to do that straight away. Carry it around for a little bit, because what I want to do with over here is talk about charcoal. And this is the charcoal pit down here that I was talking about previously, and it is almost completely set. What we need to do is we need to fill up these remaining stacks, and we need enough left over for one more. And I'll just do a quick double check to make sure that I've got all of these. So this is a 5x5 area, and what we need to do here is we need to get a fire pit lit, and I'm pretty sure that I can't actually light the fire pit at the moment until it's open to the air. I think I have tried this before. We'll double check though, because I do want to make the experiment. So we'll see whether we muck everything up and set the whole place on fire or not. So the first thing that I want to test is, can I just do it straight like this? We need to toss down 3 sticks, and we need our fire starter, and we need to have the logs ready because we've got about 20 seconds. So we're going to kick that up. We're going to... Oi, what happened? That's better. And that's... I lost a log somehow. Doesn't matter. Seal that, and that door is valid. And we should find now that if everything's working perfectly, and it is, and because I've turned my particles back on, you can see that this whole area under here is now cooking away. Now this will give me a source of charcoal that's close by, but I am going to be showing you also how to make a bigger, simpler, easier charcoal pit, and we're going to be doing that over here by the Douglas firs, because my tree farms are going to all end up over there. Anyway, let's have a look. This is where I'm currently at with the design. I'm fairly happy with the way that it's turned out, and I'll give you a good view around. I've got to fix up a little bit of glass for the front here, although I'm still not 100% sure whether I want to go with the glass. I might even edit the texture pack so that I've got proper clear glass for those windows. Oops. Our storage down here now is empty, and I'll show you the reason for that as well. So let's head inside, and before we do that, no, we'll deal with that next. I want to try and keep things rolling, so what I need to do quickly is grab a couple of vessels, and we need to get this meat put away. Oh, not that one. So that at least I've got some time before it starts to decay too quickly. Need one more, and we'll throw that hide in there. We're going to be dealing with the hide soon too. Okay, and let's get downstairs. So as you can see, I've excavated out down here completely. I'm going to be building some framework around all of these chests and then putting some signs up so that we can see what's what. But we've currently got our berry bushes, our fruit trees, saplings, woods, straw, gems, sticks, fences and ladders, and there'll be more as time goes by. Now what I've done is I have moved down into here is my cellar where I'm going to be keeping all the food. There's no light down here, so what I have done is I've actually chiseled these blocks down until there's only 1/8 of the block height left, which means that nothing should spawn down here. Now the protection from being in the area should also stop things from spawning. But I'm finding a few oddities with the protection, so I'm not sure whether it's actually working properly. But what we've got here, and I know it's going to be very hard to read, I do apologize. Actually, for the time being, just very quickly, where can I throw this? Up there. You can see we've got fruit, veggies, grain, protein, meals, which is something we'll be covering in a later episode. There's nothing in there except cooked bread at the moment, so don't worry. And miscellaneous, which is where I'm going to keep my spare vessels and knives and so forth. So let's turn that out, and let's quickly throw this pork in here, and throw that empty one over there at the same time. Okay, now I need to check something out because I have heard that apparently the light level doesn't matter. If you put a vessel into a chest, it classes it as a dark area anyway. So what I'm probably going to do at some point is take some materials, some that I'm going to put in chests in the lighted area and others that I'm going to leave down here, and just see whether there's any difference that way. I've got additional storage up here, which I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for yet. And I know I'm talking a lot faster than I should, so I'll see if I can slow down a little bit. I've noticed in the last couple of episodes that I have been going at 100 miles an hour. So we're going to be furnishing this place. This floor here is mostly going to be living area. It's not going to be anything flash. There'll be a few bits and pieces. This area over here is going to be the kitchen, so I've moved the quern in here. I've got some oak barrels in here that I can use for water and various other bits and pieces. I've moved a fire pit in here and popped it up onto a block, and I've got some spare wood and some spare vessels, and I do need to fix that glass. And the veranda, which you've already seen looking out over the edge, there's a bit of Z fighting going on, but it's not too bad, and I do kind of like the way this is all turning out, so I'm fairly pleased with that. I'll have a look from this side, and we can see over here I've got to do quite a bit of work on this side of the house. I'm not completely happy with the way this looks. It's not quite deep enough. Once I get some trees it won't be too bad, but I might take those logs out one level deeper, or one level further, just to give it a little bit more depth. The windows there, again, they don't look too shabby, and I do think I prefer those to the glass for the most part, so that's the way we're going to go. Upstairs is very bare. At the moment all that we have up here is my bed and you can see that there was more than enough room up in the roof here for me to actually do something with it. I've even hooked it up so that it looks like we've got a couple of pulley type setups that we could use to lift things up into this area for storage. Things like the straw here, and yeah, we're going to play around. There's plenty more cosmetic work to be done yet, but the important thing is that we have a roof over our head, protection from the mobs, and I'm liking the way it's turned out. I really hope you guys like the look of it. But if you've got any suggestions or things that I can do, then by all means let me know. Now, for some reason or another, pressure plates don't want to work with gates, and I'm not sure why that is. I haven't tried one with a straight oak gate yet. I might do that and see if that makes a difference, but it certainly doesn't seem to work with the other gates. Now, it's dark and we want to get outside, so let's see what we can do about skipping through the night. And I hope I haven't got too little food or water. Oh, that was dangerous. I have got to remember to stop doing that. Need to check my food levels before I go and lie down. Let's just get some of this stuff into us now quickly. Bread's almost gone. Now, I did harvest the vegetables. The crops that you can see down there, it's completely empty. We can't see very much of anything at the moment. Let's go outside, shall we? Alright, you can see the farm down there is empty, and you're down there in armour and not going to burn up. Now, one thing that I have noticed, the longer you stay in an area, the reduced chance of mobs spawning within a certain range. Now, I've been spending a lot of time in this area. As you can see, this is all leveled out. I have built some paths through here, So I've been spending quite a bit of time in and around this area, but I'm still noticing that I'm getting mobs spawning down here, and I'm also getting mobs spawning down here inside my farm, and I would have thought that they were well within the range. I'm going to have a bit of a look and see exactly how it works, but basically, as far as I know, the rules are there is a radius around you, and if you're within a certain radius, mobs won't spawn. Now, I could be wrong. It could be that I actually have to be in the chunk itself, and the more time I spend in the various chunks, the better the chances are. So maybe if I spend more time down in that farm area, which I will be doing soon, that will negate the chunks that make up that area. Actually, in fact, if we have a look, you can see probably these lines appearing. So you can see there are in fact down there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even more chunks where mobs can spawn. So yeah, we'll certainly see how much time and what the actual range is. Let's get rid of those lines. Right, now the next thing that I have to deal with is to be able to deal with the animals down here, and to be able to find chickens I need rope, and rope requires jute fibre, and we can process 14 jute at a time in a barrel. Now jute is one of the easiest things to process, because it just requires water. So what we're going to do is we're going to duck out here. We're going to duck out here, and you'll see my spare water barrels. We're going to use these 1, 2, 3, 4 as they stand. In fact, let's grab a little bit more jute. Can we reach through the window? Yes, we can. Wrong chest though. I want a fair bit. So any more than 14 into a barrel will cause problems. This barrel's full. We're going to pop those in there. We're going to seal that barrel, and we're going to do the same with each of these. And last but not least, now we just need to leave those, and once the fibres have soaked long enough, we'll be able to then make rope. Something else that we want to be able to make is cheese, and to make cheese we need to make vinegar, and to make vinegar we need to make alcohol. There are in fact a whole bunch of different alcohols in the game, but they've been disabled at the moment because some work is being done on the barrels. I don't know what the final changes are going to be, but we can still make rum, and then more importantly from that we can make vinegar, and vinegar plus milk will allow us to make cheese, and that's how we're going to deal with our dairy. Now the last thing that I want to do here is having fun with these doors today. Oh, not quite. I am going to need another scythe, and that will hopefully allow me to show off something else that we can do, because I don't have a scythe at the moment, but I do have the molds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a copper ingot, and we're going to toss it in here, and we're going to need some coal or some charcoal. We'll use the charcoal. Now this is a little bit wasteful, but it's mostly for demonstration purposes, and I've got plenty of charcoal coming, so it's not going to be that big a deal. Now it's very important that we have um, ceramic molds in here because we're going to heat this up until it goes liquid, and then we're going to transfer the liquid metal into this mold here to make the scythe. So we need to light this one up, and may as well toss this back in here for now. And you can see now that this is going to heat up. If I had a bellows, I could heat this up faster, but unfortunately bellows requires leather, and leather requires a lot more hide, and to deal with the hide we're probably going to have to slaughter a few animals, or go hunting, and I'm sure there's a few bears around here that I can deal with, so we might do it that way, although we are getting quite a collection of pigs down there and we're probably going to have to do something about that. The problem, of course, is that slaughtering them produces a massive amount of meat, and there's only so much that I can eat, so it is a little bit wasteful. In the meantime, let's just have a look at this one here, and this is now up to very hot. We can see that the forge itself is getting up into the orange mark at the very bottom of the yellow, and we can get it hotter using the bellows, but we don't need to when we're dealing with something like copper. It's not very far from going liquid now, and dark red, and you can see the heat increasing, and now it's at the temperature where we can work it if we had an anvil, and we will definitely be looking at anvils very soon, because that's one of the next things that I want to deal with. Is I want to start making some anvils and teching up, because one of the problems I have come across is I've got bismuth, I've got copper, but I have had a lot of difficulty finding zinc or tin, and you need zinc or tin to be able to make the different bronzes, and I think what I am probably going to do is use what I do have and what I can find to get enough to get a bronze anvil so that I can move to the Iron Age quickly, because I have got a lot of iron around here. So this one here is orange and it says danger, and that's warning us now that it's about to go liquid, and it's now gone liquid, and you can see it's yellow. If we leave it, if we let it get hot enough, it will actually disappear completely, but we're going to pull it out, and if we've got a liquid ingot mold, we can do this and throw that in there, and we will transfer the metal into the scythe. So that's a way of doing it without actually going to the extent of creating a little pit kiln, and it's particularly good when you're working with small amounts. And now we have our scythe blade, and of course we are going to need a stick. Oh, the stick's already in my inventory. So a stick and that, and let's get rid of some of this extra stuff that I don't need to have right now, because we're going to need all of the space that we can get for wood, and we're probably going to need to have a drink and something to eat very shortly as well. Let's just throw these logs down here. Alright, and the sun is going down again, so looks like we're going to have another nap. But before we do that, let's jump back up here. Hey folks, it looks like this episode is going to be running long again, and I've had a few episodes that have been running overtime. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to cut this one down into 2 episodes. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me. Look after each other, and ciao for now.